Hello everyone and welcome back to Spyro Reignited Trilogy. We're still on the first game. And last time we took care of the Peacekeepers world. Today we're moving on to the Magic Crafters, which has a lot of good levels to be sure. Also a pesky egg thief that I got lucky there. Sometimes if you're not careful, the egg thief will come all the way to this dead end over here. And you have to start, I think you have to reboot the level. Or respawn it or whatever. I'm not sure though, don't quote me on that. But yeah, that egg thief can be rather pesky. Also, is these enemies, I forget what they're called. But they kind of look like birds a little bit. At least they did in the PS1 version. But now, with the higher fidelity graphics, we can see that they're more just wizards. Just wizards with beards and long noses, you know. I know some people associate big noses with a certain race of people, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to rescue dragons and collect gems. Speaking of which...
Welcome to Magic Crafters. I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
So it's interesting that this is the first dragon to kind of bring up the eggs in a major way. And that's because this is the world where you need 10 eggs in order to progress to the next world. The requirements to go from artisans to peacekeepers, I believe it was 10 dragons. And to go from peacekeepers to here, see that one I don't remember the exact amount of gems that required. I want to say maybe 2,000 gems, but then again, how many gems do I have now total? I don't even know. Can't even tell. It might be 1,000 gems. No, it might be 2,000 because you collect so few in the artisans, but then you collect a lot more in peacekeepers. So kind of makes you wonder. Also, this is the first world where figuring out about the rotating disc treasure chest will really help you out with defeating certain enemies quicker and potentially doing some mild sequence breaks. But before we finish off, actually I think instead of doing levels as I pass by the portals, it might be in my best interest to actually clear the homeworld first before I start messing with the levels this time around. I hope people understand and aren't, frazzled by me doing something different, God forbid. In terms of level ordering, I believe we might be going back to that order for the next world, if I'm not mistaken, but well, we'll find out about that in like an hour or so, you know? Did I seriously get hit there? It didn't look like I got hit. Good thing we have all this fodder to chew on for now. But yeah, you kill this enemy early and you get to come up here a little earlier, not by much, so it's not a huge sequence break or anything, but it's certainly something. It's certainly something. We passed by the portal to Alpine Ridge earlier, and this is the portal to High Caves. Every world has 3 regular levels, a flight level, and a boss level. And also plenty of dragons and gems to collect, including this guy.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent!
Go ahead, try it.
I'm actually a lot more convinced by the new dragon designs for Magic Crafters that they are magicians or have at least practiced magic at some point. So yeah, Supercharge! We finally get to start messing with this, and it can be a little finicky sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. But, I mean, you gotta get used to it now because you're only gonna have to use it more and more for the remainder of the game. Particularly in certain infamously difficult stages, such as one that's actually in the next world coming up. I can't really say for sure if the supercharge physics are better or worse than they were on the PS1 because they weren't exactly perfect on PS1 to begin with. And hopefully that's the last time I need to do the supercharge. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I hope I'm not. Here's the 3rd level, Wizard Peak. And the music theme for Wizard Peak is very interesting. You're probably not going to get to hear it much during this Let's Play, but look up the track separately if you feel like it, and tell me if it doesn't remind you of a certain theme song from a certain live-action Nickelodeon show that was popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. It may or may not have been related to all that. It may or may not be the Amanda Bynes show. Alright? You know, look that up. Tell me if you don't get a blast of nostalgia. But then again, I can't imagine too many people coming into Spyro Reignited will even know about all that, so just ignore my comment if it's of no relevance to you. And this is the boss level, Blowhard. The flight level was in that cave that we kind of skimmed over. So we need 10 dragon eggs to move on to the next world. We currently have... How many? How many do we have? 7 eggs. Alright. And not quite 3,000 gems, so it's probably 2,000 gems to get to Magic Crafters. Which makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Because you'll have like 1,000 when you're done with the artisans, because levels give so few gems it's not even funny. So we're gonna clear this cave out. But I can't go into Crystal Flight right now because I have the key and the key will despawn. So we need to find that treasure chest and knock that out. We'll leave the dragon there to rescue for later though. Because the dragon isn't gonna despawn when I start doing the levels proper. Actually, doing this makes more sense because now we can go to Alpine Ridge, which is technically the first level in Magic Crafters in the listing. Also, fun fact, the Artisans had 100 gems to collect, Peacekeepers had 200, and Magic Crafters has 300. Yes, they do seem to pay attention to that sort of thing. But I mean, that was the original design. It's not something completely, utterly new for the remake or anything like that, no. I'm missing a 5 gem somewhere. And we need to try and track that down, why don't we? Strange how it's pointing there. Let's see. Oh, it's that wizard, that darn wizard. How did I miss that guy? There we go. Now we got all the gems. Well, and since I had to come all the way over here anyway, I guess we may as well do the flight level. No, we will save that. We'll save that for later. I may as well just do the levels in order. Even though the order was a little messed up because I missed that wizard somehow. Hey, wizards can be pesky if you're not careful, alright? It's just the way things go. So hey, let's head right on into Alpine Ridge, which won't be as magical as some of the other levels here, but it's certainly crafty. I'll give it that. So Alpine Ridge is a pretty interesting level. Mostly because of a certain enemy that shows up here. An enemy of the large and beastly variety. I'm going to swiftly move the camera. And lo and behold, the Beasts of Doom. Indeed, they still look pretty scary, but on the PS1, because of the way the graphics were, I think they kind of looked scarier in a way. It's kind of funny in retrospect, but yeah, those beasts are pretty scary. I'm sure they scared a lot of children. I don't remember being scared when I first played the game of the Beast, but if you were, you know, that's valid. I mean, that's what they're going for. They want the large beast to be imposing and scary, but the thing is, they're large enemies, so they go down in one flame attack, right? And that's just the way that goes. And, we have the small... Oh, they're called druids. I just remembered. They're called druids. The small ones are druids. I think the larger ones are druids as well. But, you know, let's see, you got the rotating disc. I could swear I saw a gem back there. Oh yeah, look, there's something shining over there. How did I miss that? Yeah, seriously, I killed this enemy, so why didn't I get that gem? You see, that's the kind of thing that can really mess up a speedrun. Good thing I'm not doing one of those. Or am I? I guess that's the ultimate secret of all my playthroughs. Am I doing a speedrun or am I not doing a speedrun? The answer to that is technically no, but...
Oh, Spyro! You're not afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
Oh, good. I didn't think so.
I mean, how can they be scary when they go down in one flame attack, like I've been saying? But, like I said, if you were scared of them as a kid, I don't blame you. Don't feel bad about it. Jeez. Now we have some proper wizards coming in, right? Ice wizards, I think they're called. Or they could just be wizards that just happen to know ice magic. I guess we don't need to be discriminatory in that sense. Okay, you can charge into the larger druids. I wasn't sure about that, but confirmation is good to have. You can indeed charge into the larger druids. I wouldn't try to charge into the large wizards, though. They definitely seem a good bit more padded, as it were. So I wouldn't risk doing that. So, coming into Magic Crafters and Peacekeepers, a lot of levels are going to have a higher gem count on average. I want to say every single regular level here in Magic Crafters has 500 gems for you to collect. Indeed. And every level has an egg thief as well. Each of the 3 regular levels has an egg thief. I'm pretty darn certain about that. The glides are also not going to get any easier. So you really need to have mastered gliding by now. Or in my case, just learn to love to charge and glide, as it were. Because, I don't know, some of these glides I swear I could make without charging. I've been struggling on a couple of them, somehow. I don't know if that's a Switch thing or if it's just reignited in general. I don't remember struggling on them when I played these games on PS4. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. It's just that sometimes gliding can be hit or miss, but I feel like the original Spyro has the most difficult glides in the trilogy. I don't recall struggling with glides all that much in the sequels for the most part, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, mind you.
Thank you for releasing me.
That guy seems more like a scientist than someone who uses magic, but magic potions, maybe? Maybe they're an alchemist instead, because, you know, semantics all around. Boom! Got him from above. But, yeah, you know, Alpine Ridge. The big scary bees, oh, they're abundant. And it's a really nice detail that the little druids are riding on top of them, too. You know. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna be silent for a little while and let the music play, because, you know, Spyro has some good music, so if there's a series where it's good for me to go silent for a little bit, something like this would probably be good. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, maybe I should double check skill points for a minute here. I think I remember where I think I remember where the hidden painting is in my games. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. So when you get to the end of Alpine Ridge over here, it does loop around, kind of like a circle. You can head back to the beginning from here. But what we want to do is head forward over there. But before we do that,
Great work, Spyro! If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
didn't we just rescue a dragon that was named Xander? Or Xantor? Or something like that? Seems like a weird coincidence. Okay, I actually don't remember if I should go for the pillars right away or if I should go for the arch over there. I think I'm gonna shoot for the arch. I think it's a little bit safer. Indeed. Looks like that was the safer route. Now we have an egg thief. I didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it.
Remember that these blue thieves have stolen eggs outside the Magic Crafter's world as well.
Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
Pretty good reminder here that yes, there are egg thieves in other levels outside of the Magic Crafters, but the Magic Crafters is the last world to have egg thieves. Indeed, levels going forward from here, from the next world onward, won't have any egg thieves at all. But that doesn't mean they won't be devoid of another similar type of enemy, which we'll see soon enough, I'm sure. But yeah, that's the reason why Magic Crafters is the only world that has an egg requirement to reach the next world, I guess. Because for some reason, they just all end at Magic Crafters. Halfway through the game, more or less. Interesting, to be sure. But at least you don't have to do as many of these chases, which can be a little annoying annoying sometimes because sometimes you feel like you catch up to the thief and you're not quite there. But I don't want this to drag on for infinity or anything like that, to infinity and beyond, but I'm having a tough time catching up to this guy for some reason. So I think, I'll probably get there eventually. I mean, I probably have to hit him now. Yeah, I guess that's how it works. Right, we got 8 eggs, so I need 2 more. I mean, this is trying to go for 100%. I think about it though, how many eggs are even left at this point? Oh wow, I don't know what happened there. I didn't want to risk foo-barring the glide there. I'm just kind of doing all this stuff with the charge and the gliding. Kind of annoying that they nerfed the glide somewhat and reignited. I mean, I guess I kind of understand it, but at the same time it's still kind of annoying. We got all the gems, we got all the dragons, and there's no skill points. Quick and painless, right? Sure. Let's go home, Magic Crafters. So next up on the docket of levels is going to be high caves. And yeah, enemies will respawn when you come back from a level. Be careful about that. And where's this guy gonna go? Where's this guy gonna go? Pesky blue thieves. I mean, I already got the egg. I just kind of did that for no reason, but let's go ahead and move on to high caves. And oh boy, in some ways, I'm not looking forward to this. Alright, so welcome to High Caves. This is a pretty decent level for the most part, but there is one part of the level that's kind of especially if you're scared of a certain type of insect, or rather arachnid. Oh no. We're not gonna go in that cave right now though. We're not gonna go, I think we just caught a glimpse of it. But we're not going in there right now because we don't have the tools necessary to take care of the enemies that are scurrying about in there. So for now, let's focus on the outer regions of the high caves. We have druids that specialize in wind magic. And apparently they don't like the ice wizards very much. They seem to be at war with one another. Pretty interesting how that works out. So, gotta wait for all the tornadoes to pass by. Come on. Don't have all day. Well, we kind of do. At the same time, no. And yeah, I think those are the only time we deal with the wind druids for now, in this capacity. Maybe we should put a pin note on the whole wind druid thing for now. Wouldn't want to be a blowhard about it. Anyway, got a spinning disc treasure chest over there, and yeah, just do a loop around. I guess that would be a decent time to go to the cave, but there's still more to get in this area. So let's just climb all the way up. I need some fodder. Where's some fodder? There we go. Yeah, I needed this boost. Thanks, game. Thanks very much.
Please do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
Indeed, druids will indeed move a lot of things. That's what they seem to specialize in, except for the wind druids for some reason. So this can be kind of a tricky glide because of angles and whatnot. I got that one. This one seems almost like a freebie. Alright, there we go. And I believe we're coming up to the part where there's a hidden painting. Obviously. Bam! Okay, we got it. We got the skill point. Now the other skill point I gotta worry about is in the boss level. Ride a druid platform for 10 seconds. That's a weird skill point, honestly. Okay, so the interesting thing about here, you see these fairies down here, right? Watch this. You're not gonna lose a life by falling into a bottomless pit here in high caves. Which is good, because this is a level where you're gonna do a lot of supercharging. So you could consider this level as good practice for the supercharge. Well, I mean, the supercharge thing in Magic Crafters is pretty good practice too, but it's not as much you can do with it, except for destroying that metal chest for the most part, and also getting inside that area in the first place, because the druid will raise up the platform too quickly. But, yeah, High Caves is the first level where you can really take advantage of supercharge. So I guess in that sense, Alpine Ridge was more of a return to form even though you didn't really need a return to form at that point, of levels that didn't have supercharge. Now, you can expect this level and the next level, next regular level in Magic Crafters to involve supercharging to some degree. And there's going to be at least one level in the next world that really loves supercharging as well, and a lot of people are not crazy about that level, myself included. So, you know. But we're going to try and see what all I can do without supercharge before we mess with supercharge, because, I mean, the fairies will kind of do all the work of respawning me and all that, but still might be kind of annoying to deal with. Of course, we have the obligatory egg thief in Magic Crafters. I wonder how long it's going to take. Well, got all these gems to worry about, so the logical thing to do would be to do one lap to get all the gems and whatnot, and then do a second lap proper to actually nail down the thief. And don't forget, by clicking down on the left stick, you got your handy-dandy Sparks Treasure Finder. Copyright. So, let's just chase after this thief here. See how long it takes with all these freaking insane turns you gotta deal with. Man, imagine if Spyro was a car. Actually, I don't think people have to imagine too hard about that, since for the marketing for Spyro Reignited Trilogy, it actually made a Spyro drone, which I thought was the craziest, one of the craziest things in video game advertising I think I've ever seen in my 2+ decades of gaming experience. Like, wow. And I saw some pretty weird video game marketing stunts, let me tell you, but Spyro drone with Snoop Dogg promoting it, I don't know about that one, man. That's just too much for me. Like, the drone is one thing, but then you throw in Snoop Dogg, and it really does give me a moment to pause. I mean, I respect Snoop Dogg's work and all that, but it just seems utterly unfitting. Like, I didn't know Snoop Dogg was involved with Spyro at all. But apparently, I mean, if he didn't want to do it, all he'd have to do is say no, but he wanted to do it, so it kind of makes you wonder if Snoop Dogg is a fan of the Purple Dragon. Possibly not of Crash Bandicoot, though. Thought it was interesting he didn't want to do a Crash drone. But then again, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy was like the first thing by Activision to try and see if the Crash and Spyro brands were worth revisiting, I guess, or reigniting, however you want to do it.
Try combining your supercharge with jumping and gliding, and really explore the high caves.
It's true. Technically, you can actually get to this cave without gliding. I think you were able to see that when I reached here. You can just supercharge and reach this area without gliding. So if you rescue that dragon, it's a pretty good time to mention that, yeah, you can glide after a supercharge. The more you know. Speaking of dragons, we forgot to rescue this guy.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Bugs? Where? Oh no! They're not bugs! They're arachnids. No! Did I mention I have arachnophobia? Yeah, and they actually look just as scary, if not more scary, in the PS1 version. Seriously, look up that way the spiders look, the metallic spiders look, in the original Spyro the Dragon. And tell me it doesn't send shivers down your spine in the bad way. Oh look, there's another egg thief. Yeah, there were 2 egg thieves here in Hive Caves. Makes you wonder, fancy looking spinning disc here. Would be a shame if something like that happened. Yeah, I guess you could consider that kind of a freebie thief. So we have 10 eggs, but I guess there's only 2 left because there's only one more level, so you need 10 eggs, but there's only 12? I could swear there was 16 eggs. I don't know. Sometimes the memory can play tricks on you. Sometimes. I mean, 2 eggs? That's not really much of a grace period. Unless I'm missing something. Like, maybe there was a level I forgot to do? Nah, I doubt that. So, alright. I think we're done with gliding. So now I can't keep putting it off. I need to start using the supercharge to kill all the spiders, which I guess is kind of invigorating, but good lord! Ah, I missed that spider. I think I missed, oh man, I missed that spider. We gotta go all the way back. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I don't want these spiders to mess with me, man. It looks like at least I got all the other spiders. So, but even though you don't have to worry about falling into a pit with the supercharge, it's still kind of annoying you have to backtrack all the way to the supercharge thing. Every time you mess up a supercharge, or it runs out before you're able to make any real use of it. So, you know, let's see, we got that, and we got that path over there. But actually, maybe I should go up here, because you can't supercharge up here. Oh, if only you could supercharge up the steps. Wouldn't that be a game changer? Ah, come on! Come on! I don't want to be touched by the spiders. Good lord. Those spiders are fast, I'm telling you. They are really freaking fast. Ah, but looky here, there's another fairy. Are you going to give us another checkpoint? Oh, well, that's one way to give a checkpoint. No, this is actually the introduction of the super flame, but not in the modern context. In the later Spyro games, the super flame is more of a projectile, but here in the first game, super flame is just basically your regular flame attack, but now it'll instantly destroy any enemy or obstacle that would normally be targetable by your flame. If it can be hit with your flame, but maybe it doesn't kill it, and now it'll most likely kill it. That's how you know about that. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the super flame will not reach that one spider all the way at the end of the cave. That spider, you need to use supercharge for. But you can use the super flame to make up the difference for other spiders you may have missed with your first supercharge. So it does help cut down on the repetitiveness a little bit, but it's still kind of hard to get all the way to the end here, try and kill this spider! There we go. Thank God, dude. That only took 2 tries. Man, I was really expecting to have to do some jump cuts there. Alright, got the gems, got the dragons, we got the 2 eggs, and we got the skill points. So I would say that's pretty good. It feels like I did that really fast. Alright, so after having to deal with those spiders, probably not as much as I was expecting to have to deal with them, we're going to take a bit of a breather as we head to Crystal Flight. I'm going to try and rescue that dragon, but oh, just missed him. Alright, let's knock out these planes real quick. Alright, we did a way better job that time. I can definitely deal with that. So we do the planes, treasure chests, which we've been doing for a while now, admittingly, but we're going to do more of that. Down to 1 plane left, but I get the feeling we'll probably be able to get that one this time. We'll have to wait and see. You just gotta remember, there's 1 plane left. You go through the rings. It's interesting this time the rings are rainbow colored. The rings are rainbow colored instead of being all the same color, which I believe was red in the other flight levels. We'll go through the arches. There's rings, there's arches, there's chests, and there's planes. There's not too much variance with the obstacles, I find. Or at least not as much as you would think. Like, rings and treasure chests seem to be a pretty common theme here. Oh god, why? Why? See, look at that. I did the thing. Why is the turning like this? I swear to God. Alright. Let's go for the arch. The arch has got to be around here somewhere. Down below. Oh! Last plane. Last arch. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was so close. That was a much better run than the first time. Like, whew. Talk about a close call. Alright, so...
This portal leads to a special place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
Well, that was totally not intentional. But anyways, we only got 2 levels left. One of them is the boss level, so, well, count that for what you will. I do find that as you go deeper into the game, the boss levels feel more and more like regular levels as you progress. You might want to keep a pin note on that because, yeah, I feel like starting with Blowhard, the boss levels become a good bit more fulfilling. But now, we're heading into the Amanda Show theme song level, also known as Wizard Peak. So this is actually my favorite level in Magic Crafters. I'm noticing a pattern here where it seems like the last regular level of each world turns out to be my favorite. Well, in Artisans, I'd say Dark Hollow is my favorite. Town Square is alright, but it's, you know, I just like Dark Hollow because of its simplicity, I guess. I do feel like it's a better first level than Stone Hill. I don't know what to tell you about that. So, Wizard Peak is definitely, it has some depth to it in terms of the exploration. That should not have hit me, but I guess it did. Yeah, these Norks are a good bit harder than a lot of the other larger Norks we've had to deal with thus far. They have a pretty far reach. So what you might want to do is go close to them, wait for them to whiff a hit, and then flame them as they're recovering from that whiff. Might be the best thing to do, I don't know. But, I mean, it's pretty risky. Pretty risky. And again, I do suggest looking up the music for this level and, you know, jamming onto that. Look up the song for Wizard Peak and look up the song for the Amanda Show. Compare and contrast and tell me you don't notice some similarities. But that's because the composer, Stuart Copeland, also composed the Amanda Show theme song. I guess he was feeling affectionate towards one of the songs and decided to reuse them for the other. I don't know what else to tell you there. So we head back and we glide over here for a somewhat hidden area that I think I'm going to have to come back to more than one time, but I don't know if it'll justify a jump cut or not. Hopefully not. I really don't want to do those more than I have to. Like I said, I think I've only had to do that one time thus far, and that was funnily enough in Town Square. Something I forgot to mention while I was doing Town Square is that Town Square, I mean, hey, take a shot every time I say Town Square. So that level was used in one of the demo discs for the original Spyro. And I distinctly remember this because I actually had a Spyro demo disc for a little while. I picked it up from Goodwill a while back. I don't have it anymore because I think I sold it for some money because I needed it. Evidently. But yeah, I had one of those, and the demo was basically just Town Square. Maybe the actual Artisan Homeworld, I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that they decided to use Town Square as the demo level. There may have been another demo with Stone Hill as the level, but again, I can't be 100% certain about this. So I know there's definitely another area that you can reach by doing some exploration here. Alright, we're already back here, so I guess I don't need to do the jump cut. That's good. Hashtag less jump cuts are better. That's not really a very good hashtag, but it's just something worth mentioning, I suppose. But let's see if I can find where I have to glide to get to that other window. It has to be over here, right? God, I'm gonna regret this. No, I'm not. Oh God, look, that glide. You want to talk about a hidden glide? That is a hidden glide. All right. Forget that other glide in the Peacekeepers in Dry Canyon. That is a hidden glide. Ooh boy, I'm gonna need to take a breather after that.
Welcome to Wizard Peak. This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
So I hope you got the training wheels off in high Ks because you're not going to have those fairies for Wizard Peak Supercharge. But for now, let's just stick to the ground as much as we can because Supercharge can kill even the largest of enemies that would normally rebut such a thing. But, you know, you can use Supercharge to kill giant enemies that would normally only be killed with a flame. You could also probably use the rotating disc treasure chest. That's a little slow, especially when you have the superior option. But yeah, Supercharging is not just exclusive to the original Spyro. It's actually a thing in the later Spyro games as well. And as far as I know, the applications are still fairly creative. At least in the next Spyro game. I don't remember too many creative supercharges in Spyro 3. But arguably, there were other focuses in Spyro 3 that probably took, more importance than the other stuff like that. So that might be the case there. Alright, we got this metal chest, so we're gonna try and knock that out with this supercharge ramp. Yes, there is an area over there, but you need to be rather specific with your supercharges here. I think I'm gonna try and do as much as I can. Alright, we got that metal chest. I'm gonna see about this enemy over here. Alright, come on, hit your club. Good. So, interestingly, on PS4, I noticed that sometimes one of these Norks will just not spawn graphically, but it will spawn on a gameplay level. So what happens is that it's an invisible Nork, right? And it'll start hitting you, and you don't know where the guy is, right? So you try to find out how are you getting hit, who's hitting you, and it's an invisible enemy, and it's really freaking annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so that thief can be tricky sometimes, especially with that pool of water increasing the risk of you getting hit and whatnot. Let's get. Hey! Don't dodge my attack. Esky. I think it's the Nork down here that's usually invisible. Maybe this one. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I played this game on PS4, but in the 2 playthroughs I know I did, both times I'm pretty sure the enemy was invisible. So, yeah, it's kind of weird how that happened. I think they can actually kill the smaller druids, but I'm not gonna risk that. Let's get these gems, kill this guy. Dangerously close to the edge, wow. It's a strange place for an enemy to spawn. And this should be the last dragon of Wizard Peak.
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the Artisan's home world near the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan's homeworld? Waterfall. Sounds good.
Alright, so this is where the dragons would let you know about Sunny Flight if you didn't already know how to unlock it. So, better late than never, right? Oh, we got this other dragon we gotta rescue too. Let's knock him out.
Well done, Spyro. Thank you for releasing me.
A whole extra 3 words to the original dialogue. So this is probably a better checkpoint to have for all the supercharged shenanigans. Either that or the other dragon we rescued earlier. I think there's a checkpoint all the way on top of here. But I guess we could just go to this supercharged ramp over here, and it essentially serves the same purpose. Assuming I get this on the first try, of course. Okay, I think I made it. Oh, God. Yeah, so, it's okay to go quiet there if you need some extra concentration. Good lord. So, Wizard Peak, I feel, is the first level to have some truly difficult supercharged moments. Also, basically a free egg thief, because there's no way that guy's gonna move on such a treacherous platform. All eggs found. Alright. Makes me wonder if the requirement to go to the next world actually might not be 10. It might be less than 10, because... I mean, at that point, if it's 10 and there's only 12, why not get the other 2, right? I mean, it's the whole Banjo-Kazooie situation all over again, more or less. So this time, just for a change of pace, we're going to go all the way back here as we try and shoot for the other supercharged spot. And once again, I'm going to need a little concentration, so forgive me. And bam! Right into the wall. Normally, I don't really like charging into walls for no reason, but if they can be used as a buffer for your supercharges, I think that's a pretty decent application of bumping into a wall. It's just that the feedback usually bothers me. I don't know. And it probably bothers other people too. I just have this feeling. Alright. Some mildly tough glides here, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Alright. Oh boy. So, that was Wizard Peak, everybody. Supercharges included. This is still my favorite level in Magic Crafters, but I'm not gonna lie. It can be a rough one. So now we're at 4,800 gems total. You're not gonna see that because, you know, usually only keeps track of the total gems for the current level you're on. I don't know, I feel like I usually have more than that by now, but maybe that's just my superstitions. Wait, did you just attack me through the freaking portal? What a... Wizards are jerks, man. I can't believe they would just cheat like that. Ah, bah humbug, I say. What a bunch of blowhards. So this is the first boss level in the game that I really kind of like. Like, the other ones, they're alright. I tolerate them and all that. But Blowhard's the first interesting one because it actually feels like a proper level. It's mostly a continuation of Wizard Peak, in a way, because the only enemies you really deal with are the Thunder Wizards. And I think there's some Druids. I mean, the skill point kind of implies there's going to be Druids with the whole stay on a Druid platform for 10 seconds thing. That's worth mentioning. So I have to remember to do that. I don't know if it's a specific platform or if it can be any platform. But I guess we are about to find out about that now, aren't we? And we're fixing to come up on the Blowhard himself. Again, not really much of a boss fight, but I mean more of a fight than Toasty. I'd argue less of a fight than Dr. Shemp, though. So there's Blowhard. Well, that's the first hit. You just jump and flame him. Sometimes he'll spawn a tornado your way, but sometimes he won't. I mean, yeah, Blowhard is arguably easier than Dr. Shemp, but harder than Toasty. Alright, 10 seconds. This shouldn't take too long. Come on. Get that free skill point. Why not? And I get the flame right as I get the skill point. I like that. I like the timing of all that. So, yeah, this level is kind of a last hurrah for the Magic Crafters, so get a little bit of the Wizards, a little bit of the Druids, and not much else. This dragon is kind of out of the way. Kind of makes you wonder if he's got anything useful to say about the boss.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in Crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
An appropriate response when dealing with an old man dragon, which are a lot more frequent than you might think. Yeah, the dragons you rescue can definitely be grouped into larger or smaller groups, I guess you could say. There are the tutorial dragons, which are mostly in the artisans. There's dragons that are old dragons, and they usually have a pretty expected line of dialogue most of the time. And then a couple of them may just be, "Thank you for releasing me, dragons," which are a little bit less in Reignited, because as I mentioned previously, some of them actually do have a little bit more dialogue, but there's still a bunch of them that are just, you rescue them, and they say thank you for releasing me. That's pretty much it. I think that's it for, like, the deep stuff in this level. I think that part in the cave with all the moving platforms, I think that was about the depth of this level. The rest of it is just finishing off Blowhard. Alright, I guess he could actually get an attack on you there. It looked like he almost did. But I didn't get hit. It looked like I got hit, because I don't think I got hit. I got all the gems, got the skill point, got the one dragon. Yeah, that was Blowhard, everybody. Quick and relatively painless. Now, of course, we'll go through the exit portal because it's right here. Why not? Well, that pretty much wraps up Magic Crafters, everybody. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Let's go ahead and talk to the balloonist over here.
Thank you, Spyro, for recovering so many of our dragon eggs. Hop aboard for the Beastmaker's world if you're ready. Would you like to go?
The Beastmakers, huh? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Next time, we move on to the Beastmakers, which is my least favorite world in Spyro, and I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the levels, so yeah, that should be fun. See you guys next time.